Giving the gift of hospice. That's what we're here to talk a little bit about today. Ooh, I see some grimacing of faces over here. Hospice, death, dying, yes. But for me and a lot of other folks, hospice is about living. It's about quality of life at the end of life. It's about creating legacy. It's about looking at dealing with unresolved issues that have been building up all your life. And most importantly, it's looking at how you build a bridge. So if you're not here in this world, your family's solid and strong. That's what hospice is about for me. And navigating the world to understand that resource is important. Now, one important fact I want to talk about right now, guys. 82% of us in this audience are going to die from a chronic disease that's disabling and lingers on. 18% that get hit by the bus, die of a heart attack and go to heaven, they got lucky. They got lucky. But us, if we need to deal with, and we will, 82% of us, the historical data shows that, are going to need to deal with a life-threatening illness as we age. Are you ready to navigate your world to help you deal with that? And there's two ways to do with that. Like we have a medical system that's all about treat, 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 treat. And it looks at sometimes fetal care. You know, why do they put nails in coffins? To prevent the oncologist from getting the last dose of chemo in there. Fetal care. Fetal care. On the other end of the spectrum, there's palliative care, holistic care at the end of life. Very, very important. There are myths, unfortunately, that are out there that are preventing people from accessing their hospice benefit. I want to touch on a couple. One is they believe that, hey, I signed on the hospice, I'm giving up. That's it, I've signed the death warrant. Untrue. Today, as we're here meeting, there are hundreds of people around the United States being discharged alive because they no longer meet criteria. You need to meet stringent criteria to be on hospice. And the Duke did a study a few years ago that showed that people on average live 3 months longer if they're on hospice than not on hospice. So that myth is debunked. The other myth is it's brink of death care. Oh, I can only access hospice when I'm on my deathbed. Guys, no, not true. The benefit was intended to be a 6-month, 180-day benefit, and you can actually access more of it if you meet criteria. You know what the average length of stay is for a hospice patient today? 64 days. Median, 17 to 18 days. Obviously, they're not accessing their hospice benefit because fear, denial, and these misconceptions we're talking about today. The National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization showed us that every year they talk to families that have been experiencing hospice. And one thing they consistently say year after year after year, 98% say, I wish I would have signed my loved one up for hospice earlier and accessed that benefit. So they can talk about some of the things we're discussing here. One of the last myths I'll sort of stop is look at hey, hospice is just for cancer patients. Untrue. 30% of the people in the United States today on hospice are for cancer. The rest of them are for a variety of diseases, cardiovascular, lung, et cetera, et cetera. I wrote a book called The Son's Journey, Taking Care of Mom and Dad. And chapter 5 is all about the gift of hospice. Talks about the benefit, the great benefit that I think is one of the best benefits our government has ever designed, and some of the benefits that are there and how you can access it. So with that, I'll leave that as a resource for you and ask you to consider giving the gift of hospice, becoming knowledgeable about the gift of hospice, should you, your family, or loved one ever need that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good day.